What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Well, we have this math problem that we're going to be solving. And the question says, find the values of x for which 9 to the x plus 15 to the x is equal to 25 to the x. Our first step will be for us to divide through by 9 to the x. So I have 9 to the x. I'll divide this by 9 to the x plus I have 15 to the x. I'll divide this by 9 to the x. This is equal to, I have 25 to the x. I'll also divide by 9 to the x. Now notice that 9 to the x divided by 9 to the x is 1. So this is 1 plus. Now, this expression from indices where we have maybe a to the n divided by b to the n, this is the same as a over b all raised to the n. So we're going to be writing this in this form. So this expression now becomes 15 over 9 all raised to the x. This is equal to, now we're going to be doing the same thing here. So this becomes 25 over 9 all raised to the x. Very good. Now our next step will be for us to split 15 and 9. So we have 1 plus 15 is same as 3 times 5 all over. Now 9 is same as 3 times 3. And this is raised to the x. So I'm going to be raising all this to the x. So this is equal to, now notice that 25 is a perfect squared, which means it can be written as 5 squared all over. 9 is also a perfect squared, which means it can be written as 3 squared. And these are raised to the power of x. Very good. Now notice that 3 can cancel out 3, so that we have 1 plus, what I have here is now 5 over 3. So this is 5 over 3. And this is raised to the x. This is equal to, now this expression, just like this, we can be able to write this expression inside as 5 over 3 all raised to the power of 2. This expression inside. But notice that we also have it raised to the power of x. So I'm going to be raising the all of these to the power of x. Very good. Now our next step will be for us to apply this law of indices, which says when I have a to the m and this is raised to the n, this is the same as a to the n raised to the m by switching their positions. So we can switch the position here by saying 1 plus, this is 5 over 3 all raised to the x equal to, now switching the positions, we have 5 over 3 raised to the x, and this is raised to a power of 2. So we did that because we want what we have here to resemble what we have here. Very good. Now we can bring out substitution by saying let 5 over 3 all raised to the x be equal to, we can use any value by saying y, for example. That means wherever I see this expression, I'm going to be substituting y. So this becomes 1 plus, this expression is y equal to, now this is y raised to the power of 2. So y raised to the power of 2. Very good. So we have a quadratic equation. Now let's arrange this quadratic equation by moving what we have on the left-hand side to the right-hand side. So already I've got y squared on the right. As y crosses to the right, it becomes minus y. As 1 crosses to the right, it becomes minus 1. So 0 will be left on the left-hand side. This expression is same as y squared minus y minus 1 equal to 0. Just flip the positions. Now, since we have a quadratic equation that we can't factorize, we're going to be making use of the quadratic formula. So since we're looking for y, for the quadratic formula, this is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, what is our a, what is our b, and what is our c? Our a is the coefficient of y squared, and that's 1. Our b is the coefficient of y, and that's negative 1, so negative 1. And our c is the constant term, which is negative 1 as well, so negative 1. Very good. So let's substitute into this quadratic formula. So y is now equal to negative b, so negative b is negative 1, plus or minus the square root of b squared. B is negative 1, so negative 1 squared minus 4 times a times c. 4 times a is 1, times c is negative 1, all over 2 times a, which is 2 times 1. So simplifying further, we see that y is equal to negative times negative gives positive. So we have 1 plus or minus the square root of negative 1 squared is 1, which is positive. Now, negative 4 times 1 times negative 1 will result to plus 4. So this is plus 4 all over 2 times 1 is 2. So this simplifies into y equal to 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 plus 4 is 5 all over 2. So there are actually two values of y here, which the first one is y equal to 1, going with a positive, plus the square root of 5 all over 2, or the other value of y is y equal to 1. Now this time, go with the negative minus the square root of 5 all over 2. So recall that we're looking for x, and we introduced the substitution that said let 5 over 3 all raised to the x be equal to y. Now, in order to get the value of x, we have to take the log of both sides. So I'll take the log of the left-hand side, which is log 5 over 3 raised to the x, and this is equal to log y. Now I'll apply the law of logarithm, which says when I have log a to the n, this is the same as n log a. So I'll apply this here. That means this expression can be written as x log 5 over 3. And this is equal to log y. Very good. Now, since we're looking for x, all we have to do here is to divide both sides by log 5 over 3. So I'll divide the left-hand side by log 5 over 3. And I'll also divide the right-hand side by log 5 over 3. Very good. Now notice that log 5 over 3 cancels out from here. So what I have here is now remaining x equal to, now on the right-hand side, I have log y all over log 5 over 3. Very good. So recall that the answers we got for y are, we got y to be 1 plus the square root of 5 all over 2, or y is equal to 1 minus the square root of 5 all over 2. Well, since this is involving log, we're going to be rejecting the negative. So the value of y that is negative will be rejected since this is involving log. So we're going to be focusing on the positive. So let's substitute this value of y here. So our x now becomes log y. Y is 1 plus the square root of 5 all over 2 all over the denominator. We have log 5 over 3. Very good. Now we're going to be applying the law of logarithm on the numerator and on the denominator. So the law of logarithm, which says when I have the log of m divided by n, this is equal to log m minus log n. Very good. So applying this law on the numerator, we have x to be equal to log 1 plus the square root of 5 minus log 2. That's for the numerator, all over. Now on the denominator, this is log 5 minus log 3. And we all know that x is equal to the log of 1 plus the square root of 5 is 0.51 minus log 2 is 0.3010 all over. Now the denominator, log 5 is 0.699 minus log 3 is 0.4771. So this becomes x equal to 0.51 minus 0.3010 gives 0.209 all over. Now the denominator, 0.699 minus 0.4771 is 0.222. And on dividing, 0.209 divided by 0.222, we're going to have 0.941. And this is our final answer. Well, feel free to share your ideas in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video and have learned something from this video, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my upcoming videos. And like I always say, until next time, take care.